This is the spreadsheet that my wife and I use to run our $1 million Amazon brand. Let me explain to you how it works. So on the dashboard, you can see a very clear picture of your sales performance. That's why I call it the sales snapshot. Rather than trying to go through Amazon and go through like 10 different screens, I do this automatically. Now the free version, the one that you get, is more of a manual version, but within Gorilla ROI, this is all completely automated. But even with this version, you can see how it's set up so that it can help you run and monitor your numbers and your brand. The dashboard is broken down into 3 main sections, just a quick overview of the total account numbers. And then over on the right side, I have a trend on a per product basis, just a very quick snapshot of how the product is currently doing today, yesterday, and sales in the last 30, 14, 16 days. And then I just measure the difference between the last 7 and the 30 days to see how the short term is going versus the last 30. Remember, this is all within Google Sheets, so you can do whatever you want. It's completely open. If you make a mistake, just undo it or make a copy, duplicate, and then just restart. It's as simple as that. Over back onto the left side, I have a table for how things are going today. So when I come back later in the afternoon, then I can see what the changes are on a per SKU level. This is so much more powerful than just looking at things from a total account because it's very actionable. If I know that, for example, this product had a huge number yesterday, then I can start digging into what the reason was. Was there a influencer that promoted it? Was there a particular PPC campaign that really ran well? You can dig into the details by deciphering, by going into the layers as opposed to just being locked into a single account view. So you always start high and then you come back, or you come layer by layer, filtering down into like the whole funnel process, right? Going further down, I now have a table that I can analyze to look at the last 7 days versus the last week. But you can change this to say last 7 to last 30 days. You can change it from last week to last week the same 1 month ago. It's all completely up to you and completely flexible and customizable. And then you can see what the trends are based on a visual arrow up and down. And then you can see here that I've also got one for the last 30 versus the last 60. So this really helps us keep tabs on the number, keeps our finger on the pulse. So this is the dashboard. Now this is where the magic happens. I have all of my sales data organized in this sales section, from the product information to the units sold, and then followed by the actual revenue per SKU. Broken down like this, this is what feeds the information into the dashboard. So by having it separated like this, where this is now like its own mini sales database, I can use queries, I can use VLOOKUPs to create the tables, the dynamic tables from within the dashboard by pulling in the data from the sales. The sales history is also similar, but it now shows it in a table of a per day level. I've got the column A, and then you can see that March 4, 3, 2, 1, then it goes to February. On a daily basis, it's going to pull in and track the number of sales per SKU for each day. Using this also, I can now create charts on a daily basis and see what the trend is. So there's a lot of things that you can do with your imagination if you have access to the data in an organized, structured way, like the format on this spreadsheet. And so this is why it's available for download. You can take it, use the formatting, and then see how you can apply it into your Amazon business to monitor things much more efficiently. Once you have it set up, it's really just set and forget. It's just going to run in the background. And when you use Gorilla ROI, our add-on with it, then it makes everything so much more powerful because all of this is just updated automatically. Here's how we pull this information. Click on the yellow cell. So that's where it's an input that you can change. You can double click it, show the query formula, and you can see that it's pulling in from the sales sales table, sales sheet, and it's grabbing the columns G, A, AV, etc. It's ordering it by column I in descending order, and that will output this table as it is. If I change from say AV to say AM, you'll see that this column just changed to last week. I undo it, and it was ranking before. And that was just a single change from a letter of the column. And so you can create these powerful dynamic dashboards once you've housed the data, once you've organized it, and then just set the data as it is, forget about it, and then just go and update the dashboard. Same thing here. If I want to change this, where I've got it set like this, but if I want to say change from today to say something like, let's say P last 60 days, that's how easy it is. I can change this again to say last 12 months. So now I've switched over today and yesterday over to last 60 days and last 12 months based on whatever numbers you're trying to track, whatever trends you're trying to analyze. I'm going to undo both, pulls it back into today and yesterday. Same thing with here. I can change this, like I said, from last, actually I was making some changes here. Let's say H, I can get today's numbers, and then I can change this over as well, and so on. And again, this is how you can use one spreadsheet to monitor the sales of your brand as you continue to grow from 5, 6, 7, or even 8 figures. We have so many 8-figure brands using this template because it's just a simple way to monitor your sales without getting bogged into the details and wasting time every day trying to organize your Amazon sales reports, your orders reports, and so on. So that's how you use it. Make sure you grab your copy, and there's a couple of other spreadsheets included with it. And so check the other videos for that, and I'll see you next time.